Hey everyone, this is Mike, and today I wanted to talk a bit about leveling in Destiny 2, or more specifically, power leveling your gear, because normal leveling is not a thing that you do anymore in the new Shadowkeep expansion. So for those that are new to Destiny 2, the way it kind of worked is Destiny has a soft cap at which normal activities stop giving you power increases, and then you have to do weekly activities known as milestones to go to the new power cap. Now in Shadowkeep they actually introduced a even higher power cap over this hard cap, and then there's also, I guess you could say, like the soft cap on how your overall power level is going to be with the new seasonal artifact. Now the way it works in Shadowkeep is that the new soft cap is 900. At this point normal activities stop giving you power increases. Now to get over this power level cap you need to do stuff that reward powerful activities. As I said, your milestones. So as you can see on screen, activities that have this weekly thingy displayed will give you a power increase all the way up to item level or power level 950. Now once you reach this new level cap, once all of your items are 950, you can still go higher than this up to a new cap of 960. But to get from 950 to 960 is going to take a very long time and might actually be impossible to do in one season. Now the reason is this. There's only two things that grant weekly powerful rewards so far that we know of. We have the weekly Nightfall, which is 1 drop, and then we have the raid, which is 4 drops. Of course there are secret chests in the raid, but those are not pinnacle rewards. So pinnacle rewards are the only thing that can get you over this 950 power level. But the problem is that there's very few drops. Like this week we have Iron Banner, for example, which gives you a few more drops. But once you have to get over that cap, it's really difficult because you need a power increase on every single piece of gear in order to get the next one. So if I want to go from, like, say 951 to 952, I need to make sure that all of my gear has a 951 piece. Like for example, right now on my Hunter, all of my gear pieces are 951 except my cape. So until I drop a cape, I am not going to get a powerful drop or a pinnacle drop that's going to reward me with 952 gear. Powerful drops are also completely useless at this point because they will not reward you anything higher than 950. So say even if you are at that 960 power level, having a prime engram drop or doing those weekly powerful rewards will still only reward you with 950 gear. Of course, this makes it so that doing the endgame activities will always stay relevant. And that's what I think is a really good thing. Because the raid is always going to be relevant and the 100k Nightfall is always going to be relevant as well. So instead of just chasing your gold roll once you get the max power level, you also have now these extra 10 item levels that you can get in order to increase your power a little bit more. Now of course, going from 950 to 960 is going to take a very long time, might not even be possible to do in a season if you get unlucky with RNG, because you do indeed need a full set of 951 gear to get 952, etc, etc. Do I think it's a bad thing? Not really, because right now people that feel like I want to hit max power level and then I'm done for the season, they can stop at 950, but for the people that do want to keep playing the endgame activities, there is always that little bit extra of a reward that they're going to be getting from these pinnacle rewards. So I think it's a really good system. 950 is still the power cap that you want to be chasing for, and once you reach 950 you can say I'm done with leveling, but then all of the people that will still be doing these pinnacle activities like the raid, like the Nightfall, they'll still be rewarded with some extra gear, which I think is a really good thing, because none of the activities in the game really need you to be 960 in order for you to be able to beat them. Now, together with this comes the seasonal artifact. So the seasonal artifact is something that will buffer your overall power level. As you can see on my character screen, I am power level 960 something, and that is because I get like 12 or 13, I think now, power levels from my seasonal artifact, and this will give me a better damage increase against some of these higher level enemies. Now the only high level activity, I guess you could say, where you need a higher power level than 950 are these high level Nightfalls, like the 950 or the 981. The 981 I think is the only one that you need the really high power level for, but outside of this there's not a single activity where you actually need very high level gear for. So that's why there's another reason why I don't really think that this pinnacle system, I guess you could say, is that necessarily a bad thing. So all in all, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty cool that they basically put something in for people that want to keep playing the endgame activities so that they at least still feel a sense of getting new items and getting an increase to their power level. Whereas people that want to play it a little bit more casually, like I do, they can basically decide to stop at 950 and be like, okay, I am done with leveling. And then if I do end up doing the raid or the 100k Nightfall, then I'll still feel like I am not doing it just for the sake of doing it, but that I'm still getting kind of rewarded for doing those activities. So all in all, I think it's a good system. I think it's pretty interesting. Seasonal artifact will of course level indefinitely, so you can just keep gaining power levels as you play, which I think is also a really good thing, because every time you do get that little bit of extra power, the 100k Nightfall, or I guess you could say the Hero Nightfall, I believe they're called, the one with the 980 power level, will just become a little bit easier every time you get that little bit of a power increase. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to talk about today, a little bit more of a shorter video. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the leveling in Destiny 2 right now. I think it's a pretty good system. I do kind of like it. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. So I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.